Alright, so we are just a few days away from the Zenless Zone Zero 2.0 livestream, and 2.0 is also going to fall in line with being the anniversary patch for Zenless's first anniversary. So today I want to go over my thoughts and kind of predictions of what I expect for the anniversary. And I think it is really good that the anniversary is coinciding with 2.0, because normally for Hoyo games, the 2.0 and 0.0 updates as well as the anniversary updates are probably the most exciting times. So pairing them together, I'm expecting there to be a pretty solid amount of content, just things to do generally for players. So I'm going to split this into two parts here. Firstly, I'm going to talk about just updates in general for the game, like gameplay update, new things for players, and that kind of thing. And then afterwards, I'm going to talk about rewards separately, because I know rewards, especially with some of the anniversaries we've had recently with like Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, there has been conversation about the amount of rewards given. So I am going to give my thoughts and predictions for everything here, and I'll just have some b-roll gameplay in the background so you guys can tab out, have me running in the background while you're playing games or doing whatever. So starting out here with the updates. So like I mentioned, the anniversary is also version 2.0, which I think is very exciting. I think it's going to be a great time for not only some old players to come back to the game, but with this update probably being the release for the Xbox version as well, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of new players, which is something that's super exciting. So it really is important that Hoyo and the Zenless team, they do have enough content, not just for existing players, but also for new players to really get their feet wet in the game and have a lot to do and not feel like they hit a wall so early. So this is going to be a very important patch. Probably very similar vibes to 1.4, where they did a lot of those changes. Now, for 2.0, we do have some stuff that was pre-confirmed with the dev talk that we got before the 1.7 livestream, which I think is pretty cool. So we do know the new characters are going to be Yixuan and Jufufu for the S ranks, and then we're going to get Pan Yinhu as the A rank agent. We'll get more info on them on Friday when we have the live stream, but with the way Yixuan has been kind of teased, definitely feel like she's going to be powerful, which a lot of new players are really going to enjoy and probably are going to pull for her. We are going to have the new area, the Yunkui Summit, and also they did say in the dev talk that they're going to announce the extra dailies that are going to be there. So instead of running the video store and doing the lottery ticket like we do in 6th Street, we're going to be able to do other things that are going to count for those daily points that we need as well, but they're more tailored towards the Yunkui Summit because it is a different kind of vibe there. So that's going to be pretty cool. They also did say they are fixing the map system, which I think is really good because it is a bit clunky with the way you have to scroll through so much, and adding this whole new zone that's probably going to have a bunch of sub areas, that could be really annoying if they kept it the same. So hopefully during the live stream they'll show off the map. And also they did tease, not specifically for 2.0, but they did tease that they are thinking of doing some older character buffs, which I think is very good. And they did also mention that they don't want to just increase stats or do anything mindless like that. They want to focus on, while keeping the spirit of the characters the same, maybe giving some new mechanics and just increasing their viability in that kind of sense, which is cool to be able to tweak them like that. And they haven't said any specific characters that would be getting them yet, but I feel like the most obvious choices are either going to be some standard banner S ranks or Ellen, because I feel like Ellen's the only limited character where I can see them giving her a buff. All the other limited characters are still pretty usable in endgame content, so we'll see what they do if they end up doing it for 2.0, or maybe this will come a bit afterwards, but yeah, we'll have to see what they do there. And the dev talk did also announce other things that may not specifically be in 2.0, but also just didn't have a date or version range in general. So maybe we'll get some of the other things, but for right now, those were the few things that were confirmed already for 2.0. Now, for stuff besides that, for my predictions, I do hope that they're going to have at least more events than they usually do. I did check for 1.7 right now, there were 5 gameplay events and then the double drop events. So hopefully I'm thinking maybe somewhere 7 or so events for players to do, because I think having more stuff active for players, especially during both a 2.0 update and the anniversary, is a very good thing. A big criticism I had for Honkai Star Rail was that they had barely any content during their anniversary patch, because all they had was a super bloated story quest and basically like 2 events for like most of the version. So because of that, it's not really like, I didn't really enjoy that anniversary as much as I probably could have if they had some more things for me to do that were meaningful outside of the normal stuff. So I do think that having a lot of events, and Zenless is usually pretty good with events. Like I remember their filler patch, the Astro Yao patch, had a ton of events. Now, if they don't get up to fully that level, that's fine, because it did feel kind of crazy doing all those events in that patch. But at the same time, I think that maybe going slightly above the norm could be a good thing. I also think adding in some kind of permanent gameplay mode would also be really good for both new and returning players. Whether it's the like Bank Boot Fall Guys becoming like an actual permanent thing, maybe like with like a monthly resetting leaderboard or something like that. Or if they update the Battle Tower, which it's been a bit since they've updated that, so it would be nice to get a new update for that. For some of the newer enemies, some of the newer bosses could be really good, especially these new like Deadly Assault variants that we're getting for bosses. Like the new Dead End Butcher is like, he's doing like feint attacks and stuff like that, which is pretty crazy. So if they could add some extra like permanent stuff like that, it would be pretty cool. But when it comes to, updates and content for me, obviously I like other optimizations, which they do pretty much every version at this point. But I think that as long as there is enough for me to feel like I can do something through a good amount of the patch, obviously for these gotchas, it's not going to be all the time in the patch. But if there's something for me to do in most situations, or something I could be like, yeah, I can do that today, then I feel like I'll be fine with the amount of content, especially since we are pairing the anniversary with a 2.0 update. So there's already going to be, new stuff to do in the new areas. Probably going to be new side quests and all that kind of stuff there. So I think overall, like content-wise, will probably be fine, but we'll see what they announce on the live stream. But now let's talk about the rewards. So there are 4 main sections for the rewards that I want to talk about. The first one is going to be free pulls. Everyone wants free pulls, obviously, because it's a gacha game, it's a 2.0 update, and it's an anniversary update. I think if we use the other Hoyo games as a benchmark, because it seems like based on like release order, every other game gets better, right? Like Genshin's anniversary rewards, from what I hear, because I didn't really play Genshin much throughout any of their anniversaries, their rewards are pretty trash. Then for Star Rail, they were starting to give, like, I believe we got 20 pulls total for first year Star Rail, and then we got 30 pulls for second year. I think bare minimum they're gonna give us 20 pulls. Using HSR as a benchmark, I do think that it's possible for the Zenless team to be a bit more generous, especially with pairing it with the 2.0 update. So I think 30 pulls is not out of the realm of imagination, but I'm going to leave my expectations low at 20, because while the Zenless team is good, we are still talking about Hoyo. And I don't know if like anniversary rewards are a higher up decision, or if it's like the dev team that's going to give that decision. So we'll have to see what they do. I can be pleasantly surprised, but we'll see there. The second thing I think is definitely some kind of extra like higher quality resources. So stuff like the stamina refresh batteries, the tuning calibrators for the drive disc main stats, the hamster cages for the max level skills, things like that. I think, having more ways to get them, like obviously they'll be available through events for the tuning calibrators and the hamster cages, but I think having some extra like incentive or extra gift kind of things will also be good. The third thing I think is possibly maybe they'll give out another free skin, kind of like what they did with Nicole in 1.5. But we'll see. Probably for like an A rank character, maybe a popular one. Like maybe we get like a Billy skin or something like that. But yeah, we'll see. I do think a free skin could be cool for players, though. I'm not one who's like big on like character customization like that. But hey, if the skin looks good, the skin looks good. If it's free, we'll take it. And then the last thing, which is I'm sure another big thing that people are thinking about, is a S rank selector. Now, for Zenless, we haven't actually had like a selector ticket yet. We only have had the standard banner, like do 300 pulls and then you pick one for free, which is cool. I think if you are a free-to-play player who has been playing since launch, you are probably very close. If you haven't been like doing standard pulls with your like summoning currency, like if you've only been using the standard pulls that the game gives you, you probably are pretty close, if not already there. So that is a good thing, but especially to incentivize new players as well, also with it being a 2.0, update, I think that an S rank selector for the standard characters could still be very good. I know I have a video about the standard characters from like months ago, but maybe we'll update it because my thoughts have definitely changed with the way that the game has progressed. And yeah, I don't think it's impossible. Like if they don't do it, I don't think it's the end of the world, as long as the other rewards are, generous enough for the player base, especially with how transparent Zenless has been. I feel like this anniversary won't be a total flop, but we'll have to see what they do. I'm sure I'll update my thoughts with the live stream on Friday, which I will be streaming my reaction to on both Twitch and YouTube. So overall, that's what I think about the rewards and just general anniversary stuff here. I think we have the opportunity here for a pretty good Hoyo anniversary, which honestly we need after how Honkai Star Rail went. But let me know what you all think in the comments down below. I am curious to hear your thoughts. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed and want to see more content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But with that, everyone, I will see you all next time.